Hey guys, welcome back to my channel, episode 9 of my new segment where I interview and chat with other pet professionals on a variety of topics: dog training, dog care, dog health, dog nutrition, dog rescue, dog whatever, to try to fall in line with the rest of the content on my channel. And today we have two excellent guests. We have Joel Filderman and Bonnie Brown of Dog Trainers Connection. And Dog Trainers Connection was founded in 2003. And I'm not going to tell you what it's all about. I'm going to hand it over to Bonnie and Joel, and you guys can tell me a little bit about the early beginnings of Dog Trainers Connection, a little bit about yourselves and how this all started.
Thank you, Jeff. We're really happy to be here.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And we both are. And Joel's usually...
I'm the silent partner.
He's the silent partner.
Yeah.
And yeah, for anyone watching, she's been training forever, and Joel is like, he's host extraordinaire, because Bonnie and Joel and Dog Trainers Connection, they have their YouTube channel, which I've mentioned links earlier, and I'll make sure I throw the links to their website and their YouTube channel in the comments below. But yeah, so Joel's the host, and Bonnie's the dog trainer, and now they're my guests.
How cool is that?
Yeah, sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt. Go ahead.
No, you're a tried and true trusted member of our YouTube forum for like 2 years now.
Jeez,
which
yeah.
we're really grateful for.
Yeah, and we've known each other pretty much since 2003.
That's right. Yeah.
I first heard about you guys and started going to your workshops and roundtables. But anyway, tell us about Dog Trainers Connection.
How we started. We started mainly in New York City, where
Manhattan,
yeah, where we were living, and we started doing live workshops because we wanted to get, the information out there.
And what I want to add here is that I had studied with Steve Diller to become a professional dog trainer in 2001. And then Steve was the one, and he's part of our YouTube forum.
Yeah.
And he was the one who prompted me. I had a space that I could rent cheaply. And he's the one that prompted me to bring dog trainers together, because he had like a whole lot of friends who were excellent dog trainers. He saw that things were changing, and he always changed and learned new things, and he wanted to bring all different kinds of trainers together. And that fit in with me, because I'm from an organizing family, union organizers, block parties, political, all kinds of organizers in my background, and teachers. And Joel was in the restaurant business and catering.
Mainly was a lot of where it came from.
So he took care of I did the organizing of getting people there and renting the space. He took care of the food and the coffee and
the event,
the event piece of it.
Yeah.
And also he's good at writing copy. So he would do the flyers for us. And I mean, way back, Jeff, we had, Victoria Stillwell came when she was just training, doing puppy classes out in New Jersey, I believe.
Greenwich Village.
Peter Borschelt, the Snoot Loop guy. We had Belgian ring sport trainers from Long Island came. It was one of the terrific. They brought videos of their work with their Malinois, and it was just finding dog trainers who weren't necessarily the big names of the day, though at that time I don't think there were any like nationwide superstars. There were some people like Carol Lee Benjamin, who wrote Mother Knows Best, her hit dog training book. And it just was a time when dog training was just snowballing. And just the one thing that I want to mention here is that I think because of my background being mixed racially, coming from the family that I come from, it was really important to me to have people come together to talk differences and accept each other and not be judgmental and, okay, you're different than I am, but you have something.
Well, our tagline used to be uniting trainers of all beliefs. That was what our tagline was for a while.
Yeah, and that's what we did. And from e-collar trainers to clicker trainers to coming together. And recently, Mike DeBruzzo was on. We did a free webinar on Lima, and at the beginning he said DTC has always been Dog Trainers Connection, has always been a sacred space, and that really warmed my heart because that's what we've been trying to do since 2003.
Yeah, and what I love about your mission, and for anyone watching, when Bonnie and Joel say that to bring Dog Trainers Connection of of all methodologies, especially at that time, we were really starting to see a shift in dog training in the late 90s, really, in the early 2000s, and that shift in dog training caused a lot of conflict, a lot of separation in the industry.
It still does.
It still does, obviously. And what I love about Dog Trainers Connection is you did that way back then, and you still do it today. I mean, that's 17, 18 years of a sustained mission statement. How many times do you see mission statements change and evolve from organizations? And I think it's wonderful that you guys have really stuck to your commitments, because it's not about you. That's my experience anyway. I've known you guys a long time. It's about helping the industry and helping dog trainers, whether it's a new person coming along or the seasoned veteran. I think, and any event, any roundtable, any workshop, any podcast that I've ever done or attended by you guys, I have never felt uncomfortable. I have always felt like, and obviously, I mean, I could be pretty animated and I can kind of tell it like it is, but I never felt, I mean, I would never be disrespectful to another professional either, but I never felt like I had to mute my opinions or experience, because you do create a culture of unifying trainers, and I don't know, it's helped me tremendously throughout my career, whether I was attending or hosting one for you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And I remember you did one for us in Manhattan, a live workshop on nutrition and raw feeding. And, that was so heartwarming for me, because that was at a time when that was, that wasn't popular and could have been dangerous to.
Yeah, raw food was back then. Woo, boy, did we hear some flack from veterinarians back. We still do, but not as bad.
and other trainers and pet owners, and where it was like, oh my God, you want to feed raw food, and and it was scary even doing it, because you didn't know what was going to happen if you gave your dog a real bone to eat, a chicken wing or a chicken neck. And but again, it was learning and being saying, okay, well, they believe that. That's good. I might look into that. That might be good for me. And we continued to hold live events, and then branched out to New Jersey, where we did some terrific ones at your pet store, Jeff.
Yeah.
And we went to Connecticut, Long Island. We had some really awesome get-togethers, of not social get-togethers, but workshops on Long Island, where trainers would come from all over for it. People would fly in from out of town for our events. And then we started to hold them online. And I honestly, I don't remember the exact year, maybe 2008 9 or 10 around there, we started doing some webinars and realized that we could get a lot of people together online. And we continued to do webinars. We had a 30-minute dog training solutions where they were half an hour recordings and webinars.
Yeah.
And in 2016, we worked on an aggression course with the aggression expert, Michael Shikasio, and that kind of took our business, our online business, to another level, because we learned Zoom, the online platform Zoom, which you're using now, Jeff, and we use as well.
Yeah.
And from working with Mike, who was really terrific to work with, and working with him on his course, How to Work Aggression Cases A to Z, we became Zoom experts, and we're training people on Zoom now. Not only dog trainers, but we had our first non-dog trainer who's a chef. She's a local chef in New Paltz, where we live. Mm. And so, I mean, and we've done a lot of other online things, roundtables, webinars, Q&As, and we're hoping you'll do one for us soon, Jeff, our pop-up webinars. And
you know me, I'm always game.
We're always trying to come up with new things. We're always trying to come up with new ideas. But the basic through line is keeping it safe for everybody there and getting information out there that people don't necessarily have. That's always been our go-to is, okay, so let's find something that we can share with people that isn't necessarily out there, isn't necessarily the most accepted thing, isn't most necessarily the thing that people go, oh yeah, I know all about that. And we do it to try and help the trainers. That's what our go-to is to help the trainers. And that's why we started doing our Zoom training, is because we realized things are changing in this business. Things are changing big time in this business. God knows with this god-awful virus that's out there, you know, I'm sure a lot of trainers are going to be online pretty quickly now. The ones who were kind of concerned about it, they're going to be a little bit more, okay, maybe I need to move up my timetable a little quicker now. Even if, you know, God willing, this thing goes away quickly, I'm sure it's going to spur some trainers on and go, well, all right, maybe I need to figure this out a little bit better now. You know, and that's why we started doing our Zoom training that we've been doing, is that we realized that it really can help, because there's a lot of trainers out there who, a lot of the older trainers are getting older. They don't want to be traveling here and there and this and that and the other thing.
Yeah, they say, you know, the weather's bad, I can't get to my client. And
we're even getting younger trainers, which I'm a little surprised about, to be honest, because I kind of thought, oh, well, they know this already. But, you know, it's easy to say that. It's easy to say, oh, well, they know this already. No, they don't. You know?
Yeah, and I think what I love about, obviously, the openness and the welcoming of your events, whether they're in person or online, I think is wonderful. But you hit the nail on the head, because if someone is certified or trained a certain way, it doesn't mean they're wrong, but they may not have been exposed to other trains of thought or alternative protocols. And whether they believe it or not, I mean, and you kind of know me, I try to keep an open mind. I mean, I don't do the things I did in the 90s. I've evolved as a trainer.
Of course.
I was introduced very traditional. Yeah, I mean, my first exposure to training was an old school protection trainer, and everything that entails, if you know what I mean. Like, that shit's no joke. So that's what got me the dog training bug back then, and I did utilize some of what I learned there, but in an atmosphere and a setting that Dog Trainers Connection provides, it does give us the opportunity to hear from other dog trainers. And I'm doing this a long time now. I like hearing from dog trainers, fresh off the boat, so to speak, because they have that fresh energy. Maybe they talk about stuff that like I know, but it's like way back here in my mind that I just forgot. So I mean that's what I love about your events and your webinars and your YouTube channel, is that it's for everybody.
Yes.
Anybody. And for anyone watching, their Zoom workshop on how to utilize Zoom. And Bonnie said, I don't care if you're a dog trainer or not, hit them up. Again, I'll throw their information down there because, Zoom is relatively user-friendly, but I can tell you from my own experience, there's these little nooks and crannies of shit that you just don't think of. And
you go, what the heck is this? And we basically have said, it's something you don't need to worry about. That's what the heck it is.
Yeah. So regardless of what industry, contact them and join their workshops.
Thank you. And sometimes we figured out things to tell people, anybody who's getting online, you need to click this because that's going to really help you out, which maybe you don't even know is there.
Yeah.
So we give the points, we break it down simply, the training. Right now it's one-on-one, but we're also working on a class format, and we will get on a phone call with anybody who's interested and talk to you about it. And the wonderful thing is that I'm hearing from dog trainers, once they say, okay, I want to get online, they get so freaking creative.
Oh yeah,
how they're
like they're saying stuff, we're like, oh okay, yeah, all right, that works.
You're doing a muzzle desensitization class, wow, that's cool, or follow-ups for their puppy classes so that their clients can check in with them midweek. And trainers are earning money even for 15-minute and 30-minute check-ins and follow-ups.
Yeah, I can tell you right now with because I try to do as much as I can online, but I've had video consults. I charge $45 for a half hour, and that's cheap. I know people are charging a lot more. I can't do that. I'm sorry, to sit in front of my computer and help someone on a video. That's just me, and maybe it'll evolve. But right now, I've had clients in all over the U.S., Canada, and Australia, and as much as I love grabbing that leash, and working a dog, the fact that I can help someone literally on the other side of the world, it's obviously it's good because we're helping someone and, make a few extra bucks. And like you said, for people who are creative or maybe their life is suited where they could really make a career out of it, I think it's great that you guys are offering it. I really do.
Thank you.
Yeah,
and you can, what I've found when I've done online training on Zoom is that you can really see the dog. You can see the body language.
Yeah.
Much more than you would think. So, we're here if anybody wants to learn how to use the online platform Zoom.
Yep, and if anyone's watching, regardless of what industry you're in, if you're considering hooking up with Bonnie and Joel, remember there's things within Zoom, like you could do screen sharing where you can share stuff on your own computer, whether it's a document or a video. You can share that live with the person you're talking to. So Bonnie and Joel are going to fill you in on all sorts of cool stuff like that. There's really no limitations. So anyway, enough of that. Real quick, before we start wrapping things up, talk a little bit about your YouTube channel and what you're offering on there for other people to go check out.
Our YouTube channel is you can find us on YouTube on Dog Trainers Connect.
And I'll throw the link to their YouTube channel in the description below as well.
And
well, this because it basically was something that Bonnie and I talked about, but it started with my idea, which was that there's a lot of information that's out there for dog trainers, and if you look at YouTube videos, there's a lot of, okay, I'm a dog trainer, this is what you do. And I said, okay, well, I'd like to do something different. I'm not a dog trainer, and that's how I always start the videos. And so I try and take these videos and I try and take them from a layperson's point of view. I do have some knowledge of dog training, but Bonnie's been doing this for a long time, so it rubs off after a little. Yeah, it's like I probably could take a dog. Yeah, but anyway, and so we decided that we would take a bunch of the trainers who we've gotten to know and work with, and get them together on a forum. And what we do is we discuss a topic, and we come up with some thoughts, some ideas, and as I say, sometimes some answers. And they're very interesting conversations. We try to be as topical as possible. Quite often I'll search online for a topic of something that's being talked about a lot, and some of them are from left field. They start out from left field, but then they kind of go back to, let's talk about this.
Yeah. And I just want to add that, Jeff, you've been a part of it for 2 years, Steve Diller, and the other trainers, Joyce Keaton, Helen Delbove, David Stagg, they were trainers who kept coming to our events that I would meet at different. Helen and I went to one of the IAABC yearly events, and we just kept meeting, and it's like you guys kind of became our advisory panel. You know, that's how we looked at you all, and knew that all of you had so much to offer to dog trainers from your
and different points of view.
Exactly. So we have the positive, you know, like purely positive people, the balance, the, you know, labels, they don't mean anything, but just to give you guys an idea.
Well, also we have people who are really, really experienced, and then somebody who's relatively new.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And we would love you guys to check it out, and to they're usually about a half an hour long, and
yeah, and for anyone watching, if you're gonna go check out their forum, obviously I'm one of the panelists, and I had Steve Diller on this particular segment that I do. I also had David Stagg on here. They're part of our forum panel, and you know, it's, I mean, yeah, we talk about dog training, but we talk about a lot of stuff on there as it relates to the industry, whether it's social issues, legislative issues around the country, global issues that are cropping up or are trending. So check it out, and you know, it's half hour or less, and you know, even if if you're multitasking or something, even if you click that play button and just listen to us talk, you're going to get something out of it. Obviously, watching the video is important because you get to see my funny faces. But even if you just click play and you're multitasking and you listen to it, it's really a cool forum. So check that out. And before we log off here, so to speak, do you have any suggestions for dog trainers or people who are looking to get into the virtual space in their particular career?
I'll definitely talk about the virtual space. Look into it for yourself, even if it's to do an initial consult with someone. Most people have a device that they can hop on Zoom or whatever platform you're using. Just try to get online somehow and practice. Practice, like we always, people that train with us for Zoom, we always tell them, get on with a friend, a colleague, a friend who has a dog that you can see, you can teach them something online, and just practice. And
don't be afraid.
Exactly.
I think that's the biggest thing. It's there's this whole thing of, oh my God, I can't do this. How am I going to do this? You do it.
And you do it, and we help. We've had people that were really technophobes that said, I'm going to do this and jump in, and we train very, very slowly at the person's pace. If it needs to be slow, whatever your individual pace is, we would love to help you out. And And one thing I'm going to say, I've always helped young trainers, like way back. I'd get emails, you know, how do I become a dog trainer? Can you help me? And I would be glad to help anybody and refer them. You have a wonderful course, Jeff. And for any kind of help, just email me and I'll be glad to get back to you.
And I think that, you know, even with the Zoom training and just in general, you know, when you first said, well, do you have any advice? Get as much information as possible. Get as much information. Don't be afraid of the information, whether that be getting online or just about dog training. If you're starting out, find what you like. Find what you think is what you want to be doing. And the only way you can do that is by getting the information. If you just say, oh, well, I'm only going to look at this thing, well, you may be missing something. And you may be missing something that you go, oh, wow, okay, yeah, no, I kind of see it that way now.
Mm-hmm. And so, if you're only a part of, say, one Facebook group about dog training, you may just be getting a narrow, as Joel was saying, a narrow view of what the good dog training is, or tools and techniques, and just join other groups to hear all sides of it. So
excellent. Well, thank you very much. And I echo those sentiments. And if anyone out there is thinking about doing this stuff, stop thinking about it. Because if you're thinking about it, you're just going to think about it. Do it. Do it. Just get it over with and do it. You have any idea how, I've been doing video stuff. I had my holistic pet care DVD back in 2008.
Yeah.
And we had, I don't even know, like 35 hours of me screwing up and babbling and blah, 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 and like we had to narrow that down to an hour. And you know what? It's okay. You know, it's okay. Just do it. Get out there and do it. So anyway, and by the way, if this is your first time on my channel, take a peek around. If you like what you see and you want to stay up to date on dog training, dog care, dog health, dog nutrition, dog rescue, dog whatever, consider subscribing. Click that bell so you get notified when I upload new content. And I will see everyone next time. See you later.